What's up there guys, it's Immersive Gamer 83 and thank you very much for stopping by. Today I want to talk to you about the Pimax 5K Plus and whether it's something that you may be interested in or something that you probably should avoid. So without further ado, I would like to apologise for the lack of content on the channel. This is indeed partly down to the Pimax. It's been my daily driver now since last January. And because of this, I was running on old hardware. I've not been able to really talk about it and show you any gameplay or capture footage because I was able to play the games, but I wasn't able to play and capture at the same time. So that's probably point number one. The hardware required to actually push this to potential is quite high. There's lots of videos talking about that. So, you know, all I'm going to say is that I changed up from a GTX 1080, which I was able to play most things fine on. And now I've got an RTX 2080 Ti. So it took me a long time to save the pennies to get there, but I should be able to start getting some content out to you shortly. The first impressions of this back when I first got it was very strange actually. There was definitely massive resolution increase from the OG Vive, but you know, I did definitely notice some distortion on the edges. You know, initially that was a bit of a problem, so I tried turning it down from large to normal, and then I actually got some thinner VR covers. The actual original gasket that came with it wasn't the best, so I've done some mods to it now as well to make it a bit more comfortable. The head strap that came with it wasn't the best, so I'll show you some pictures of what it looks like here. And now, yeah, so we've changed it out. This is the Pimax now. So as you can see, I've got the deluxe audio strap from the Vive on there, which is nice and a good audio solution. And yeah, we've got a VR cover in there as well, which is I think it's 6mm, I'm not sure exactly, but doing this modification pretty much changed it from being underwhelming to my daily driver and very much enjoying it. So you can kind of see how it goes on there. There's some 3D printed bits you can get off of Thingiverse, or you can order them off of eBay, and if you know someone with a printer you can get them printed off, or you can just purchase them, which is what I end up doing off of eBay. And I spent about £15, just search for Pimax on there. I'll see if I can link them down in the description. So then, overall the actual resolution increase is very good. The actual hardware, very nice as well. I actually think that it's a very nice piece of equipment. The main people that would be interested in this would be someone upgrading from a HTC Vive. The original Vive comes with the lighthouses as well as controllers, and you will need both in order to run the Pimax. So I mean, you can get away with 3 degrees of movement, so you can't lean in and out, but you can kind of, like on a lollipop stick, look up and down. So if you're interested in sim racing, maybe that's something that you'll enjoy. But for me, it's all about, you know, being able to interact with things with your hands, as well as, you know, just being able to actually fully walk around an environment. So if you own the original Vive, or any kind of, you know, willing to buy them separately, then this might be something that you're interested in. I think if you own an Oculus, I wouldn't even bother, you know, because it's a lot of effort switching over, changing out, getting hold of base stations. You know, you might as well just buy an Index. So in my opinion, the main people that would be looking to buy the Pimax 5K Plus would be someone who has regular IPD, so someone who's not on the extreme scales of like too big, too small. There is a slider you are able to adjust with the slider functionality just there. You can move that in, and then that moves the lenses in and out independently, which is a nice feature. But yeah, that's definitely something to consider. So if you're on the large scale or the small scale, it might not, you know, you might be looking to see if you can get it demoed anywhere before buying. A massive point to mention as well is the software. So I myself would consider myself to be a bit of a tinkerer. You know, I've been around since the DK2 days. I had a development kit too. I actually really enjoyed the development kit. I liked going in, changing files, and working around and trying to get things working. I actually find that quite fun. And that's, if you can handle that sort of thing, then the Pimax is actually a really good unit. I really enjoy it. Very, very happy. It is my daily driver. I won't be changing over to an Index. I'm happy enough with it that I'm going to keep hold of it, and it's very, very good, especially for like sims, like you know, Project Cars, Assetto Corsa, and you know, flight sims and that as well. Another thing to mention, which I think is worth noting, is the software side. It's not great. It's not great. You know, there's a lot of games won't run out the gate. You have to activate this proprietary compatibility interface software called parallel projection. It's a tick box inside the Pi tool, and it basically bridges the gap between the angle of the screens, whereas a normal screen lenses will be angled like that. Pimaxes are a bit like that. So a lot of the games, they don't converge correctly. They have like two separate images, or like at the very peripherals it's missing, or like things appear in one eye. It's jank. Do you know what I mean? It's seriously not great. And but the problem is not this parallel projection, because that actually resolves 95% of the issues. You're gonna be able to run, I'll pretty much say 99% of my games I can get them running one way or another, whether it be through Revive, you know, because there is an Oculus fake Revive, I guess, actually as part of Pi Tool. So they do natively boot Oculus games as well as Steam VR games, which is pretty good, and it runs pretty well. But when you have to activate this parallel projection, and not all games require it, but like if you do have to activate it, which is for a lot of the games, it's probably going to take about 10 to 15% of your hardware resources to do that. So you're going to get worse performance than you should be getting. And things like Skyrim, things like Fallout, Asgard's Wrath, you know, there's a lot of things where you need to activate this in order to actually get it running well. The list is too long to start reeling off games, to be honest. But overall, if you can get past that, and you know, the actual hardware is pretty sick, and when it works really well. When you first get in there, if you've been an OG Vive user, there is a bit of binocular overlap. It's almost like if you close your one eye and you look that way, you can see your nose, and then you look that way and you can see your nose. So you can kind of see your nose, but your brain blocks it out because you've had your nose for so long. You actually stop seeing your nose. When you're looking at someone, you don't even focus on it, but if you actually stop and look at it, you go, shh, I can see my nose all the time. It's kind of like that. So there is a little bit of a binocular overlap at this side as well. But then, you know, after about a week of using it, like, I no longer see that at all. But I think it is something worth mentioning. So this is not going to be a Sweeviver video when it goes into like 45 minutes showing you macro lens pictures. Do you know what I mean? If you want that, go and check his channel out. The one thing that I will say about Pimax and Sweeviver specifically, I think that Martin's alright, he makes good content and that, but he's actually working for Pimax now. So consider that when you're watching his videos, because he is on their books. The hardware's good, software rents are good, and it's getting better. I mean, I remember when Steam VR first came out, that was pretty jank as well, back in the old, you know, back in the early days. It's a lot better now. Steam VR is pretty flawless, to be honest, these days. It works very, very well. But definitely something to consider, that Sweeviver is on the books, so you might want to take his videos with a pinch of salt. He has a lot of good content, and he will show you specifics about macro lens shots and like comparisons. But you know, you'll see side-by-side comparisons of like the Vive, you know, the Oculus CV1, like Rift S, and there's now other headsets coming out as well. So there's like the 8K, which is what I originally backed, but because it's actually running native res, that would seem to be like the way to go. Overall though, I'm very happy with it. I do love the Pimax, you know, even though this might seem like it's a bit of a mixed bag, I really do like it. I'm in a position where if I really wanted to, I could be buying an index, but as it stands, I'm probably just going to get some index controllers and keep the Pimax, because I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm at the point now where, you know, I can pretty much find my way around the software. You know, I know what I'm doing. You know, I know what to try, and tinkering with it, because, you know, sometimes you turn it on and you've got to restart it. You've got to restart the software in order to get an, you know, it's just a bit of a ball ache sometimes. But if you can get your head around that, and, you know, you're going to be paying a much lower price for pretty good hardware, and hopefully the software improves over time. I'm going to be making some more videos soon, guys. I know that this video has been all over the place. I'm pretty nervous about recording, and it's been a long time since I've actually had a chance to make some content. Yeah, I'm looking to come back. I know that I've been out of the game for quite a while. Very sorry about that. I've had things on the table as well, so, you know, ideally, in an ideal world, I would have upgraded my hardware a long time before, but I work quite a long way away from home, so I had to get a car. The car is here, by the way. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, so that came first. I had to sort the wheels out. I had a few bits going on with my job, so, you know, I've had to get my head down, and that's all sorted now though. So yeah, fingers crossed, I'll be having some more content coming out to you very soon. I'm going to try and commit to about one a week. So I don't know if this video was helpful to you, but let me know in the comments. And it's actually, yeah, been pretty good to actually make some, have a go at making a video. So yeah, I'll see you soon, hopefully on the next one. Thanks guys, take care, bye bye.